Anyway, like I said, all glory to Yahawashi for revealing these secrets from the elders and the apostles on down to where we are today, where we can teach. And you see what he said? That Edomite, he said, yo, I seen them microchipping people, man. They're having chipping parties. As soon as I saw that, I thought of you. Because I remember you guys been preaching this for, yeah, well, it's here now, man. And everybody gonna say that when it start hitting the fan. Yo, I remember you guys used to preach that, yo, what's going on, man? What's going on? Y'all wasn't paying attention, man. You know what I mean? Our people ain't paying attention, man. Majority of you people ain't paying attention. They just caught up into this fight. You know? Instead of paying attention, man. Me, get some scriptures, man. So we got to thank Yahawah, Yahawashi for revealing us the secrets. Because we know what most people don't. And the Most High is showing you he's real. You want to know how God is real? The Heavenly Father is real? His word. Because what he says always comes to pass. Alright? So we justified by a higher power, man. Anyway. Colossians chapter 1, verse 26. Says, Colossians chapter 1, verse 26. Colossians. Oh my God. Let me see. This place is out of here. I won't even pan the camera on that, man. It's Colossians 1:26. It says, even a mystery which had been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints. See, the Most High is making known the mysteries, man. Who's the saints? Saint is the Latin word sanctus, which means holy. Who's the holy people of the Lord? The children of Israel. Which are you Negroes, Spanish, and Native Americans. But it's only revealed to the servants, the prophets, man. The elect men, man. And the prophets are out here pushing this word. Alright? It says, read Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2, verse 47. Daniel chapter 2, verse 47. It says, the king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your power is a God of gods. Nebuchadnezzar understood that Yahawah, why Yahawashi, is the God of gods, man. It says, and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. So Daniel was the one who broke down Nebuchadnezzar's dream, man. Same thing like Joseph. He broke down dreams and he saved Egypt from famine 7 years. And the Most High in this day and time has revealed to us through the apostles and the elders on down the secret things, man, which is being fulfilled right now. You see, even the Edomite had to admit You guys been preaching that microchip for how long? Now it's here. Now it is here. Okay? Everything is happening in its own season, man. You see? So you got to thank the Most High that He opened your eyes, man. Like Yahawashi told the disciples. We read that Luke chapter 10, verse 22. Chapter 10, verse 20. Luke chapter 10, verse 20. Where are we at? It says, verse 21. In that hour. Let me start from 20. Luke chapter 10, verse 20. Notwithstanding in this rejoice not, that the spirits are subject unto you. The spirits are subject to us. Why? But rather rejoice because their names are written in heaven, the elect. So only the elect men, the men that's written in the book of life, and Lord willing, I'm a part of that. And the other Akim and the elders and apostles are able to break down this book. Alright? And technically that's only who the book was written for anyway. It says, 21, in that hour Yahawashi rejoiced in the spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and the prudent. What things? The mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. The breakdown of this book, okay, is hid from the wise and the prudent. Your scientists, your theologians, your scholars, your professors, your doctors. They don't understand these scriptures, man. Esau with all his archaeology, digging shit up. He don't even understand these scriptures. They know certain things because they have the records, but the spirit they don't have, man. He said what? All things are delivered to me of my Father. This entire universe, man. And no man knoweth who the Son is, but the Father. No, I'm bugging. 21. In that hour Yahawashi rejoiced in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things. So the Most High hid those things from the wise and the prudent, and has revealed them unto babes, base men. Because we go into the disciples, a lot of them are fishermen. A lot of us are base men in this kingdom, man. Even so, Father, so it seemed good in thy sight. Let me jump to the point too. Verse 23. And he turned unto his disciples and said privately, Blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. For hell you that many prophets, for I tell you, many prophets and kings have desired to see these things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear these things which ye hear, and have not heard them, man. Okay? We even got a deeper understanding. The St. John the Revelator, even though he wrote these things, he didn't quite understand it, man. Because it wasn't given to him at that time. It's given to us in this day and time because we're living it out. So we now understand what he was talking about. Just like Daniel in Babylon understood the prophecy that Jeremiah talked about on Israel being led in captivity, man. Alright? So you gotta praise the Most High, man, that you're not like the average person, man. Alright? That's the gift. That's the highest gift. Alright? Like Paul said, if If any man would desire, let him win what? The gift of prophecy. Which means to say before. Wisdom of Solomon. See, I get Wisdom of Solomon. Solomon. There we go. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 17. We're about to close this out soon. That's what Solomon said. For you have given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how. To know how the world was made and the operation of the elements. All right, read Genesis, the first chapter. The beginning, ending, and the midst of times, and that's the point I wanted to bring out. All right, the Most High, we know the beginning and we know the end and the midst of times. What's happening right now? Okay, because He's revealing His secret unto His servants and prophets. So the Lord told what? The disciples, blessed are the eyes to see the things that you see, and the ear to hear the things that you hear, man. For many prophets and rulers desired to see those things, but they didn't get it, man. Okay? The Most High has given us a deeper understanding, and that's what makes it precious, and that's why it's only for the elect. That's why He spoke to people in parables. Okay? Because it was only meant for the disciples at that time to get it. So read that one more time. The beginning, the ending, and midst of times. The alterations of the turning of the sun and the change of seasons. Man. Okay, so Solomon had understanding of all those things. Man. We have understanding of those things as well. Read a precept. I'll probably read two more. Close this out. Like I said, all praise to the Most High, man. You know, He revealed His secret unto us. You know, and now that it's revealed to us, Scripture says Matthew chapter 24, verse 42. I'll read two more precepts after this. We're gonna close this out. Close it out, come on. Matthew chapter 24. Matthew 24, verse 42. So now that we know the secrets, keep watching, man. Alright, it says Matthew 24, 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. We know the season, which is now, but we don't know the day or the exact hour. It says, but know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready. Read that again. Verse 44. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give him meat in due season. And what's the Lord's household? The entire universe, man. That scripture says the heavens is His realm, and the earth is his footstool. And we're joint heirs unto him. Okay? But he's going to give you your reward in due season. But the key thing, you have to endure. You have to keep pushing, keep the commandments, have faith. Keep the commandments to your best ability, have faith through the work. Come out here, the main ministry is on the streets. Alright? It says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. The work. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods, man. Alright? And Lord willing, we can get that, man. That power and rulership, man. Because that's what the kingdom of heaven is, man. Okay? And all our enemies and adversaries is going to be underneath us. Finally, for good. Who don't want that? That's why Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar, what time do we have? Okay. Daniel chapter 5. Said Daniel chapter 5 verse 1. This is Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar's son. The king, Belshazzar, the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple, which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes. This is the same thing that's going to happen to America. I'm going to read it all the way down. His wives and his concubines might drink therein. For they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple, out of the house of the Most High, which was at Jerusalem. And the king and his princes, his wives and his concubines drank in them. So this guy was proud, man. He was lifted up with pride. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold, see? And it was the Most High who gave the children of Israel over to the Babylonians, man. And of silver, brass, and of iron, of wood, and stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the platter of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosened, and his knees smote one against another. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. So you got all the top wise men of Babylon, the prognosticators, the astrologers, the soothsayers, to break down what he just saw. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof, shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then King Belshazzar, greatly troubled, his countenance was changing him, and his lords were astonished. Now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house, and the queen spake and said, O king, live forever. Let thy thoughts trouble thee not, let thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and in the days of thy father light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, were found in him, whom King Nebuchadnezzar, thy father the king, I say, thy father made master over the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. You know that man is Daniel, because the Most High was dealing with Daniel, man. For as much as an excellent spirit and knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams and showing of hard senses, and dissolving of doubts, were found in the same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he shall show the interpretation. So only a man of the Lord could break down that writing. And only a man of the Lord could break down these writings, these scriptures. It says, then was Daniel brought in before the king, and the king spake and said unto Daniel, art thou Daniel, which art of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Jerusalem? I have even heard of thee, that the spirit of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, that they shall read this writing and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, but they could not show the interpretation of the thing. See? And none of Esau astrologers and his prognosticators is going to save him from his wrath, man. Okay? We're telling you, man, what's going to happen to you, man, and it's going to be fulfilled according to the Bible. And I've heard of thee that thou canst make interpretations and dissolve doubts. And if thou could read the writing and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shalt be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then Daniel answered and said before the king, let thy gifts to be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another. So we ain't concerned with that, man. The scripture says a gift destroyed the heart. Alright? He said what? Yet I will read the writing unto the king, and make known to him the interpretation. O thou king, the most high God gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, and majesty, and glory, and honor. And for the majesty he gave them, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him, when he would slew, and whom he kept alive, and whom he set up, and whom he would put down. But when his heart was lifted up, his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and he took his word from him. Yeah, the Most High made him a beast. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like beasts, and dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High ruled in the kingdom of men, and he appointed unto whomsoever he will. Alright? And that's what Esau don't understand, man. The Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and he sets up whomsoever he will. And this is what we got to say to Esau. Same thing Daniel said to Nebuchadnezzar. And he was driven, I'm going to read that part again. And was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like beasts, and his dwelling was with the wilderness, wild asses, and they fed with the grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God ruled in the kingdom of men, and he appointed it over it to whomsoever he will. And thou his son, O Belshazzar, hast not humbled thine heart. Thou knewest all this, man. So Daniel told him, you knew all of this, man, what your father been through, and you still ain't humble yourself. And that goes to Esau today, the white man. He knew what the Most High did to all those ancient kingdoms, and he's still proud, and he still swears on the Bible. It says, but has lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven, and they brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords and thy wives and thy concubines have drunk wine in them. And thou praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, no hair, no know, but the power in whom hand thy breath is, and whose all thy ways hast thou not glorified. And that's what people going to see, man. And this is why we out here, because we fear Yahawah, the only God of the heavens. And it's the writing on the wall. And it's the writing on the wall for America. Verse 24. Then was a part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written. Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, the Most High have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Alright? Tekel, thou art weighed in a balance and art found wanting. Paris, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. So he lost the kingdom right there and then. And it was given to what? The Persians and the Medes. Okay? But this we got to say to Esau. I'm going to read it again. You see something here? You see something? Again, take out verse 26. This is the interpretation of the thing. Many, the Most High have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. That's Esau, America, Babylon. This place is finished. That's I'm gonna read this last scripture. We'll close it out. This is King David. Psalms 47. Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto the Most High with the voice of triumph. And that's what we doing on these streets. Crying aloud and spare not. For Yahawah Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. And he's going to send his Yahawashi to reclaim the kingdom. He shall subdue the people under us, the Israelites. And the nations under our feet. So they're going to slavery under Negroes, Spanish, and Native Americans in the world to come, man. That's what Yahawashi is going to do. We shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob whom he loved. The Most High has gone up with a shout. Yahawashi with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to the Most High. Sing praises unto our King. Sing praises. For the Most High is the King over all the earth. Sing praises with understanding. The Most High reigneth over the heathen. The Most High sit upon the throne of his holiness. And that's where you heathens are going. It's slavery. Okay, we're going to reign over you, man. As the scripture said, we're going to dash you with a rod of iron. The princes of the people are gathered together. The Most High reigneth over the heathen. The Most High reigneth, sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the Most High of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto the Most High. He is greatly exalted. Say. Hey. So that, close it out. Say, giving all praise. Yahawah Shemi Al Shah. Give a double honors to Elder GMS. Honors to the Akim. May the Most High give us the strength, the zeal, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to keep coming out here and keep pushing this word. May Yahawah Shemi Al Shah be with the 1/3, you know what I'm saying? Definite destruction to everything else. Okay? Definite destruction to America, definite destruction to the 2/3, and definite destruction to the other nations. With that, I'm going to say,